Transplanting is a method of shifting a plant from one location where it is expanding to another location during its planting season. This is the Ghanaian farmer, and thanks for joining me. If this is your first time on this channel, please feel at home, subscribe and share the link to another friend or family to know about farming in Ghana and in Africa. This week on the Ghanaian farmer, farmers who are practicing irrigation farming have already started planting, unlike those who are waiting for the rainfall. So this week, we are spending some time with Evergreen Acre Farms in the Central region, precisely at a community called Buduata. And so this week, we are going to enlighten you or educate you about how to transplant. And of course, what you see here in front of me is sweet pepper, what I'm holding. It is sweet pepper. Now, for a layman's understanding, I thought they've already germinated. So when I come, I just make sure that I remove everything. But that's not it. As a startup farmer, these are some of the tricks you need to know. So I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, Gabriel Bunso, the CEO of Evergreen Acre Farms, will be joining me to teach us one or two things about transplanting of your vegetables. What are you supposed to do activities ahead of the transplanting, and on the D-Day of the transplanting, what are you supposed to do? These and many more are we going to be touching on briefly right after this break. Bye-bye. Right, so thanks for joining us once again on the Ghanaian Farmer channel. My name is Zenyonam, and seated next to me is my brother Gabriel Bunsu. He is the CEO of Evergreen Acres Farm here in the Central region. And so I told you that this whole week we'll be staying on his farm and bringing you some episodes on ways and means to start your farming season right. So this particular episode is all about enlightening a new farmer, or somebody who's already into farming but doesn't know much about transplanting. So on this farm, when you come, they have the greenhouse method of farming and they have the open field method of farming. Now, in the open field method of farming, there are places solely, allocated for nursery. And then when it's time for the planting, the nursery are removed, okay? They are shifted from the nursery to the main field for planting. That's what he's coming to enlighten us on. So, Mr. Bonsu, thank you for having us. I mean, we are still here with you already. So, this week, or this episode is focusing or teaching farmers on how to do your transplanting. This is an open field. Now, the plant we see in front of us is what? What crop is this?
This is sweet pepper.
Sweet pepper.
Yeah, but the original name is bell pepper.
Bell pepper. Okay. So this is a whole bed for bell pepper.
Exactly.
Okay, so before you have your seeds and come to do your planting, what do you have to do to the land?
So firstly, if you could plow,
yes,
it's better for you to plow to make the soil very porous.
Okay.
And after that, you mount your beds. You have it a sizable way how you want to do your nursery. So with us, you could see we've done it in portions.
Yes, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have like 8.
Okay.
It's 8 beds.
Right.
So
in total.
In total.
Okay.
So we do it how we wanted it to be. Then after that, when you make your beds, you are supposed to sterilize the soil.
Well, what is sterilizing?
So sterilization is just to help from fungicide, infection, and ants. Before you start making your lines where you do put your seed in. So like before you start seeding.
Okay. All right. What kind of soil is good for sweet pepper?
Sweet pepper, you have sandy loamy.
Okay.
Sandy loamy, black soil. That's very good.
Okay. Okay. So what should be the height and length of the bed?
So with the bed, you can do 4 foot by 20, anyhow you want it to be, or you can do it 8 or 10 foot. But the main reason why we do it 4 foot, 4 foot, so that you have enough spacing in there. You can walk in, especially when the weeds grow. You can be able to clear the weeds.
Okay, so having tilled your land, doing the sterilization, having the size of the bed and everything, now the seed is brought to the field. What time of the day do I bring my seed to do the seeding?
Also, with the nursery, with the seedling,
nursery.
You can do it any time of the day. Any time of the day. So when you are ready, when everything is ready and you're done with your seeding, you cover it with straps.
Yes, we will come to that. I realize they are in rows. Exactly. So what do you put, 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, or what do you, or you just spread it?
No, so we create the rows on the beds. And we take our seeds and we sprinkle it in the rows.
You sprinkle. Yeah. You don't drop it one after the other.
You just sprinkle it. So you see, you pick a good amount. So that it won't be crowded on the bed. So you just pick a light one and you sprinkle it on the rows. That's why you get it in
rows. Yeah, so when you sprinkle it and you fill the whole bed, what do you do next before you cover it with the trashes?
So you water it a bit to make the ground cool. And after that, you cover it.
So when you, yes, I mean, those of you who have gone in the village, you should know what he's saying. Some people use normal weeds to actually cover. Some people also mount some small sticks and cover.
So with the small sticks, so with the covering first, initially, it's good to use the palm front or the weeds, the shrubs.
Palm front or the weeds.
Yes, to cover it and you do your watering. So after 3, 4, 5 days, you check to see if the seeds are sprouted. If it's sprouted, you can take your cover off and mount
the trees in and then you do another cover over there. Yes, I'll let you see that one.
So that's gardening. So you do the tent for it and you cover it. So you open it so that there'll be fresh air
blowing. So after the 5 days, when I remove the direct covering and I'll give it some bit of shade, I'll still be watering.
You'll still be watering.
For how many weeks?
For 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Every day you could be watering. So you don't have to make the nursery bed so soggy. It's supposed to always be moderate. You know, much more moist for better germination. So immediately it's out. You make sure you have a uniform, constant watering.
For the next how many weeks? 3 weeks. And then I'll see my plants fully matured. So you know, funny enough, once I was back there, Mr. Bones or Gabriel was busy with the lady who was doing the planting. So I came here and I said, okay, let me also help. I just started. They said, no. Why do you do selective uprooting? Because you planted them on the same day. You gave them the same fertilization. And after 3 weeks, we should all move to the next house. Now you said some people will move first before the other people are moving. Why?
For uniformity. So they all grow the same time, but for better uniformity when you are doing your transplant. And also, you know, when you are starting with your nursery, you eventually start from one hole before you get to the next one. So obviously, immediately you start covering, the seeds have started with its preparation because it's now on ground. So immediately it gets contact with moist, preparation starts. So obviously some of the seeds will start earlier germination than others. Even though they are in the same hole. You know, some seeds will start with germination before the others. And obviously, even though you apply your fertilizers, some will grow bigger than the others. Exactly.
All right. And when I was uprooting, I realized that the ground was very wet and soft. So a day before I will do my transplanting, what do you advise a new farmer to do?
Exactly. So the day before you do your transplant, you know your land is prepared. your nursery is ready for transplanting, a day before that, you make sure you wet the bed.
Okay.
Not soak it, but just make it a bit moist so that the ground will be
easy, because when you hold it, you can just uproot it.
And also for the plants to get some water moisture content. So when it gets that and you uproot it, it helps not destroy the taproot down there. If you destroy the taproot, that's it. That's the end. It will die. It will die off. And also it enables it not to have like too much shock when you are doing your transplanting.
Okay.
Exactly. That's how it is.
That's why you water ahead of time.
And so whilst you water the bed, you make sure that the land is also
ready. So moment you water, the land is ready. So when you uproot, then straight to the other field.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So it means that when you come, you have to take your time and look at the ones that are more mature than the others. Okay, so the one that you said, according to you, even though we're all born on the same day, you say one is looking petite.
Exactly.
How many more days do I give it before I come and move them also?
Oh, so when you start with it, it depends on how long you're doing your transplant.
Yes.
Even though it's petite, so much matured.
Okay.
Okay, so but you do the transplanting uniformly.
Okay.
So you pick the bigger ones in there so that it doesn't overgrow so much on the bed.
Okay.
So you pick that one earlier, you do the transplanting. So by the time you're done with the sections you are planting, the petite ones will also get some stamina in there a bit to catch up with the rest.
Right. Yeah. So at this time that you have removed every covering it has and exposing it to the sun, it will not have any problem.
No. So actually the main reason why you expose it to the sun is for it to get its more nutrients.
Okay.
If you cover it with shade, it can grow very fast. It's just like you putting it under shade, that's in the greenhouse. So it can grow way bigger.
Okay.
But not so much matured in there. But when it gets its nutrients now at its early stage, it can resist the temperature when you take it to the open field.
Okay, I also before we move to the next phase, after I realized that the woman after she uprooted, she went straight to some water and did some community over there.
Exactly.
But I realized that some of the leaves had some few spots. This one, for instance, is having some yellow dry portion. What is that?
So it's actually just nutrient distribution.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
So immediately it gets to the open field, it's good to go.
Okay.
You just have to after a week when you apply fertigation, everything will be okay.
Okay.
You get back in there.
All right, so viewers, you're still watching The Ghanaian Farmer, and this episode is to teach new farmers or even existing farmers who wish to do their own nursery and also transplant on an open field. We are teaching you about the process, the procedure. So from this level, we are going to make sure we go through and pick a few grown ones. Then we'll move to the next phase, what is done there and why it is even done before going to the field itself. You will see Gabriel doing I don't know. But you let's go ahead and do some picking, then we move to the next phase. All right. So when I come to the field, Gabriel,
with you.
I walk through, okay? So you show me which one you think is grown here.
You see over this portion, you have much more matured ones.
Okay.
Bigger ones.
Okay.
So you can just bend it a bit and hold it from the roots.
Okay.
So that if you hold it here, you break it. So you hold it from the roots.
Okay.
And you pluck it.
Okay, gently. Okay.
Exactly. That's what you do.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can also try some. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I did my.
For you to be fast, you can do 2 or 3
in groups. Are you sure I will not destroy it?
Don't make sure you don't do it.
All right. Okay. All right. So we've taken enough.
Exactly.
So when we move from here, we are going to the next stage.
Exactly.
All right. Exactly. Okay. So let's go. Come with us. All right. So we've moved from where the nursery is. We've uprooted a couple of them, and in this bowl is water. Exactly. Okay. Now, what do we do here at this stage after you've uprooted the plants?
Exactly. After you've uprooted it, it has soil beneath.
Yes.
And it's still in shock because you've taken it from the nursery bed.
Okay.
So you're about to transplant it.
Yes, to the main field.
Before you do that? You put it in a bowl of water. If it's a lot, if you are transplanting a lot, you put it in so that it still doesn't have so much shock.
Okay.
So that the leaves still becomes fresh.
Okay.
So immediately you put it inside the water, it's like it's still soaking some nutrients. It's still soaking water.
Okay.
So you can have this in the bowl for as long as you are doing your transplanting.
So I should leave it in the bowl.
So you can leave it in the bowl.
Okay.
Imagine that you have more in and you are doing transplanting.
Yes.
You saw him pick some
Yes.
already.
Yes.
So by the time he comes back, this is still going to be fresh, like it's still in the soil.
Oh, I see.
That's how it is. So you pick it up. It doesn't have.
Do you time it or
No.
You don't have to time it.
You don't have to.
All that needs is it's left in water for some few minutes. Okay.
So that it still has its freshness.
Okay.
You don't make the shock too much.
But it is from soil to another soil.
Exactly.
So what is the
longevity for you uprooting? It's also a time factor. So without trying to make the plant have so much shock, you try to put it in water. At least just to soak up a little bit before you do your transplant.
All right. Do I need to change the water?
No. It can be.
It can be like this. No problem. All right. So we finish soaking it for a few minutes, and then we are moving to where they've dig some holes. But I'll make sure that please give me this one. You are going to do the work. So now we are going to where the planting is done, and then Gabriel will show me how to do the planting itself. So take notice of this. Make sure that when you move it from its bed, you have a bowl of water where you can actually soak it in there for some few minutes, especially when you are doing a lot of planting. So the shock would be minimum, and of course the plant will still have its freshness. The leaf will still have its freshness. So now we are getting closer to where the planting is ongoing. Gabriel, I need you to take that metal. I saw you holding some metal so people would see what is it that we are coming to do. So what do you call this?
Oh, you can use an ordinary
stick,
but we also have this normal metal.
Okay.
That we can use it to dig holes.
All right. So we are now at where the planting is ongoing now. So what do we do from here? Now that we are here,
we can start with some.
Okay. They've already dig some of the hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, firstly, you have your planting in beds.
What is in bed?
In beds is you have it's the same way as you have in a bed in the field.
Yes.
Exactly. So you gauge it. You plant in fours. So 4 planting is 1 bed.
1 row.
Yeah.
It's 4.
It's 4. That makes a bed for us.
Okay.
That's how it is.
All right.
So we dig our holes. Either 5 or 4.
Okay.
And then we start having our
plant.
So,
okay.
Mr. Sadi, just a minute. So with this, when the hole is already dark,
yes,
you try to let it go a little bit deeper. You pick your plant and you stick it in the ground.
Okay.
And you cover it.
Okay.
When you cover it, you make sure you press the soil
to hold it.
To
Okay.
have it compact.
Okay. It has to be firm. Okay. All right. So let me try it and see. Alaji.
Yeah.
And then so I'll put it here. All right. So there I've planted my own. Hey, this one I'm spoiling that here.
The hole is so deep.
The hole is deep.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So when you come and the hole is too deep,
you just put small soil in.
Okay. Before. Okay. All right. So this is how we keep going about it till we finish.
Do it very fast.
Fast. Okay.
There's no time. No slowing down. So you just do it.
Right. Okay.
And then you move.
You continue.
Exactly.
So
digging more holes.
Okay. So that's this way how you dig the hole. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you measure the distance in between the hole he's digging, or you're just digging?
They 1 foot, 1 foot. But because they do it all the time, so they have.
So okay.
They can just pick it and
just
dig it well.
All right. So this is it. This is the 3rd stage of the whole transplanting method or process. So right from there, you know what you're supposed to do, to the cleaning or washing a bit of the roots, and then moving to where the plant itself is going. So we're going to leave this here for the next few weeks.
Exactly.
How many weeks before it start giving us flowers and then the fruit will start coming?
After transplanting,
Yeah.
It takes a week before it becomes firmer.
Okay.
It takes ground.
Right.
Then another 3 weeks, you
You
start
see the
seeing the
flowering.
flowers
Okay.
shooting. So within a month, 4 weeks, you start seeing your first fruiting
coming out.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Do you at this stage still give it some fertilizer? Do you come and do some pruning of grass?
So with controlling of the weeds, we have a selective weedicide
that you use
that you can spray. It doesn't affect the pepper.
Okay.
So you can spray your selective weedicide to control your weeds.
Right.
And within a week after transplanting, you can give liquid fertilizer.
Right.
Just for it to get its strength back again.
Okay.
Then apply your solid fertilizer.
Oh, okay. Viewers, you can also see that the irrigation tubes are still being worked on. Kind courtesy Alaji here. He was busy when we came fixing the tubes and making sure that every bed has a tube. So how many times in a day do you open the... I'll let them open the water for you to see how it actually comes. How many times in a day do you do that?
So we can do it twice
in a day.
In a day.
What time and what time?
Or once in a day.
Okay.
So if you are doing twice, then early morning, late evening.
In the evening.
So, but for the beginning, we soak the land before we do transplanting.
Yeah.
So when we soak the land, there's still
water.
So when you do your transplanting, you just need a little bit showers
on
it just to make the top still moist. So the following day, you can still do one.
Okay.
If you soak the land very well, you can do it once a week. Once a day, sorry. Once a day for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then after 2 weeks, you can do it morning, evening, morning, evening.
Okay. All right. So that's it. Today we've taught you how to do transplanting of your sweet pepper. Okay. Transplanting of your sweet pepper. Those of you who are looking forward to going into sweet pepper farming on an open field, you need to make sure you give or allocate maybe 1 acre or even half an acre just to do your nursery. And then after 3 weeks or so, you will have the plant at this stage. And then on the day of the transplanting itself, you make sure that you water that particular side. It becomes very soft enough. So you hold it gently, you can uproot it. You make sure you move to where the water is, wash it a bit, or even leave it in that bowl. After you finish planting what you're holding, you go and pick the next one. And the process follows. My name is Anyanum, and this has been the Ghanaian Farmer. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I hope this has been helpful because we've been shooting every time, but this is the first time we are shooting and teaching you how to transplant a particular vegetable, precisely sweet pepper or bell pepper. Now, Evergreen Acre Farm, you can find them at Buduwata. They are also on social media, on Twitter, everywhere. But you can contact their CEO on these numbers.
So 055 383 2484.
The number again.
055 383 2484.
All right, so that's him, Gabriel Bonso, computer engineer, now a full-time farmer. You will be there and say you won't farm. This guy, if you see the car he's driving, I'll show you his car. Big car. So it means that he's doing well, and we had fun with his workers as well. They've been so supportive, and they've helped us to make this production really great. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the flip side. For now, let me get busy. Yay! Bwabiola lati na die kwe die. Anya sa mebu ni kom.